What's going on, everybody? Shonen Express here, coming to you with another weekly Shonen Jump newsletter. So let's just get into this. First of all, this is about issue 1 for the new series of Shonen Jump this year. So I guess that's year 2021 of Shonen Jump. We are now on issue 1, officially the first issue of the new cycle here. And the cover went to My Hero Academia. Makes sense. My Hero Academia, one of the flagships of the series, so it makes sense they got the cover. This chapter of My Hero Academia was really good as well. First of all, I like that we got to see a little bit of background about Lemillion. I am a little worried. I mean, obviously, if you watched my reaction last week, you know how excited I was that Lemillion was back and he had his quirk back and was ready to be in the spotlight again. I'm a little worried that this is a temporary setback and that this is not something that is permanent. But I actually, after reading the whole chapter and rereading, I actually think that it is permanent. I think that Lemillion has his powers back now and that Eri did, in fact, fix him, which is what we thought was going to happen all along, which was great. But we got to see more of his fight. But really, the real stars this time around were Bakugo, Ida, Nejire. First of all, Nejire Hato is alive. Like, I wasn't sure last chapter if she had died in that explosion, in that fire blast from Dabi or not, but she is alive, and she came back, and she, was fighting these Nomu. And Bakugo kind of being on his last leg, still fighting, was really cool. I really like this stuff with Toya and Shoto at the end, with then Midoriya obviously using that Froppy style Black Whip move to get Toya away from Shoto. And so, I thought that was cool, and I loved that it ended up being relevant, that the kids stopped Giganto Machina, whatever. They stopped that tranquilizer plan did in fact work. It just took some time. I love that that's going to happen and that we're finally getting the end of this climax. I can't wait to see how this wraps up, but definitely a very deserving cover chapter for the very first issue of this year. So as far as new manga, nothing new started this week, and nothing ended this week. So we didn't have anything new or anything end this week, so that's good. On break this week was One Piece. One Piece has, I believe that the plan is still to get to chapter 1000 by the end of the year. So that means that hopefully we will get 3 straight weeks of One Piece, so that chapter 1000 will come out on the 27th, right after Christmas. Hopefully that goes to plan, because that's, that'd be cool. I would love to hit chapter 1000 before the year's out, and I think Oda, that's his plan too, but it's fine, it's on break this week. I mean, One Piece is always amazing, so no problems there. Special this week, we actually did have a special. We had a special one-shot chapter from The Promised Neverland. I am a huge Promised Neverland fan. I've loved the manga. I read the manga weekly all the way through its jump. Actually, some of the first videos on this channel are weekly reviews of the chapters of The Promised Neverland that was coming out. It's one of my favorite manga series that was going on. So I always love to get more content about it. And so we did get more. This time, this one shot was about Crone. I loved seeing kind of the struggle that she went through as she grew up and with this other girl, Cecile, and we get to see all this struggle and what hardened her into this monster of a woman that she ended up becoming, obviously, by the time we meet her in the beginning of the series proper. But it was a cool one-shot. It was a great special chapter to have, and so I'm really glad that we had it for this, for issue 1 of the new cycle. So it was cool. It was definitely cool to see. I love to see it, show up again. So that's going to bring us to the next section of the weekly review. And I know I keep doing this to you guys, and I apologize for that, but I'm trying to find what the best system is. And I think I've gotten a little better at it this week. So instead of the top 5 that I've been doing more recently, or any other kind of highlights and lowlights that I've done before, I am just going to stick with highlights. So if there's something happens in a chapter that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. No matter how many that is, no matter how long that makes the video, I'm just going to talk about the things that I think are cool. And yeah, we're just going to kind of go down the list and, assuming that different things will be noteworthy for different reasons every week. We'll just go down the list. So I want to start off with Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, an amazing Jujutsu Kaisen chapter this week. We got more of the fight with Mahito and Yuji, and Toto, my man Toto, came back, and he kind of like psyched Mahito out, and that's what led to Yuji being able to put that final hit on him, which I really loved. I loved to see Mahito get taken down. I really was kind of questioning what was going to happen this arc and how it was going to end, but I think that Mahito's is not going to be the overall winner here, and Geto is back. I love that panel where Mahito runs up to Geto and is like, "You've got to save me, like, are you here to save," or Geto, I think, actually said, like, "Do you need help?" My guess going forward is that Geto is going to get them out of there somehow, and that we will see, Mahito again. I don't think this is going to be the end of him, but I loved that revelation by Yuji, who's just like, it doesn't matter what the reason is, I'm going to kill you. If you resist, I'm going to kill you. I really thought that was super cool. It's an amazing chapter this week, and anytime Toto gets a chance to shine again, I'm all there for it. So, great Jujutsu Kaisen this week. Next up on my list is Chainsaw Man. Amazing Chainsaw Man chapter this week. Just mind-boggling. This manga is really good. I've said it before, but if you haven't read Chainsaw Man, I would encourage it. And trust me, Chainsaw Man is not like a genre that I normally get involved in. It's not more gory, manga. It's not something I really get involved in all that much, but definitely you gotta read Chainsaw Man. It's really good. But this stuff that we got with Makima, Denji takes her out. Denji planned ahead and he took her out, which I'm so glad. I'm so glad that this final stand was not just like a weird attempt by Denji to just get lucky, on the hopefully be able to beat her hand to hand, but that it was a plan, that he took part of Pochita and made Pochita this other Chainsaw Man, and they fought, and he was ready to take Makima out, and he did. I love that. And then that ending revelation was insane. We see all these bento boxes in the fridge, and they are Makima, cooked up in different forms, and he's slowly just got to eat her to get rid of her. And this is just, that's first of all, that's really crazy, but it's really poetic. There's something about the fact that Denji through the whole series wanted to loved Makima, and he says at the end, he's like, he still loves her. He can't hate her. It's just there's something about this that's very interesting, how this is going to be how it ends, and it's how it has to be. I thought Chainsaw Man was really great this week. Another highlight is Mashle, Magic and Muscles. This week, another great chapter. I've said before, I like the stuff with the Divine Visionaries. This chapter, mainly, I liked the focus on we got a little more of who Wahlberg is, right? We got a little more of that, and I thought that was cool. Wahlberg, almost from the beginning of this manga, has interested me. So, I thought it was cool that we got to see who he was a little more accurately than we have before. And I love the main, oh man, now his name is gone, but the main Divine Visionary guy, the guy who kind of looks like Harry Potter. I like that he was obstinate about what has to happen here and all that stuff. It's really cool. And then we of course get a cool MASH moment at the end of the chapter and all that. So that was cool to see. And what the heck happened at the end of this chapter? I'm super interested in seeing whatever that is. I'm really, really interested in seeing this monster of a creation, whatever Innocent Zero is hiding. I really want to know. I'm super interested in seeing it. But Mashle, great chapter this week. That moves us on to Undead Unluck. Another great chapter this week of Undead Unluck. This past memory stuff has been great for me. It's been amazing. This week specifically, we got to see Victor in action. Victor is a character in this manga that just is so interesting to me, and I really love when we get more about him, and I love this whole, he just keeps killing Fuko in every timeline. She, jumps ahead to the next chapter, they call it, until he finally gets to 2020. He catches up to the present day, and then if he takes her out, it's all over, and And that move that we saw him use to destroy the city was so cool looking. Like, it was amazing. It was like detrimental to the city. It was really cool. I loved seeing that. I love the destruction that caused. And so I don't know. It was really cool. I really loved seeing that. That whole thing by Victor. And then, of course, Andy showing up to save the day was amazing. It was a great chapter of Undead Unluck this week. Also, I want to highlight Black Clover. Great chapter of Black Clover this week. I love the style. I love that we're finally preparing. I liked Yuno's confidence that Asta would be there in the final battle was great. I really liked that. I'm so excited to see some of these fights start kicking off, and I loved Meliorona. Oh my word! I can never remember how to say her name like fully. But the Vermilion, the oldest Vermilion child, the oldest Vermilion daughter, she's back. Melioriona, I think, is back. And she like takes out that giant devil, like just punches him with the one arm that she's got. That was a really cool moment to end the chapter on, and Black Clover has just been great, and I feel like I haven't highlighted it quite enough in these weekly newsletters, but Black Clover, great chapter this week for sure. Also, Agravity Boys. I don't have a lot to say about Agravity Boys this week, but I didn't want to highlight it because it did make me laugh, which is kind of rare for this manga. This chapter was actually kind of really funny. I liked that Grislow finally found out that Chris was a guy. And then it like ruined him, and specifically the ending panel where he meets like the personification of his own genitalia, I guess I can say, but it was a really funny chapter. It made me laugh, and I really liked that. So, it was cool. It wasn't cool, but it was funny. I liked seeing it. But that's really all I have to say. Also, I want to highlight me and Roboco real quick. Me and Roboco does the thing with, the other people, the other manga, and uses other manga in what it has. And this week specifically, I wanted to highlight, there was a moment where his mom imitates Mihawk and Zoro's first fight. Bondo's mom does. And so I found that funny. And I always love when they do shot-for-shot recaps. I think actually Moriking did that with Dragon Ball not that long ago, but I really like this, so I wanted to highlight it. It made me laugh. Also, Mission Yozakura Family. I wanted to highlight this manga because I think this chapter is gearing up for like an actual war chapter. Like, I really like the way that we're going. First of all, one of the reasons I like Mission Yozakura Family so much is because of the people there. It's because of like how many, like the family. I really like seeing them, and so part of my like of the manga is the family. So I loved seeing like all these people kind of coming together, working together. That was really cool. I loved seeing that. And of course, I want to highlight the Phantom Seer. Phantom Seer is a manga that if you've watched these weekly reviews for long enough, weekly newsletters for long enough, you know that I'm a big Phantom Seer fan. I still like Phantom Seer a lot. This chapter was really cool. I actually thought that the girl in this chapter was definitely going to be an enemy, and she wasn't. She was on their team. Like, she just wants to be like made normal again. And I really liked the counselor guy. I really hope he is the villain for this next little arc in Phantom Seer, and I'm really down to see that. Aibetsu has gotten so cool. Like, I love her, and I'm a big Iori fan too. So I really like it. Everything that's going on in Phantom Seer. So definitely wanted to highlight that this week. But that's all the highlights I have for this week, which brings us to our news section. And guys, I only have one real like news thing to say. And actually, one of y'all commented in the news, or in the comment section rather, that I had missed this. I think last week's video, but We Never Learn, which is the only manga in Shonen Jump in Weekly Shonen Jump that I don't read. I just haven't been able to catch up on it. And it's not really my favorite kind of thing, so it's difficult for me to read. And so I just decided I'm just gonna let it end and not catch up on it. But it's ending. As soon as chapter 187, I guess reportedly could be its last chapter. But either way, it is ending very, very shortly. So maybe one or two more issues with We Never Learn, and then it will be gone. So if you are a We Never Learn fan, I'm sorry that I haven't caught up or ever covered it on these videos, but the end is near for that manga. But that's all the news I have for you, and in general, that's all I got for you this week. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you had anything to say, anything that you wanted to comment about, please comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I love interacting with comments and all that. Also, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I bring you these videos, these newsletter videos, every single week, along with I'm trying to produce, other videos like my whole package review of Hikaru no Go, which I recently put out. If you haven't seen that video yet, definitely go check it out. It's one of my favorite videos I've made so far. But, and other videos like that where I just kind of talk about manga in different forms. So if you haven't seen those videos, definitely go check them out, and I will be producing more. So subscribe to the channel so you're up to date on the videos I'm putting out. But for now, that's all I got. So this is Shonen Express signing out.